righty. Thank you. Welcome to our drum class here in Asheville, brought to you by Asheville Rhythm. Asheville Rhythm, Asheville Rhythm, Asheville Rhythm. We're here today, playing drums for you. All right, everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's our special day. We have these open classes. We're doing some free classes, so they'll be here for you and for you to go back to and listen to at any time. And welcome. We're so happy and delighted you're here. We're still in a pandemic, if you haven't heard, so we just have a few people in the studio, all nice and distant and doing our thing. We welcome you so much. We have Brandy Mizilka-Hubiak on the controls over here. And she's our Asheville Rhythm social media queen too, and you always hear and hear from her through all the various outlets, and you know what they are. We have Rima Luna out there, our community outreach coordinator. Thank you to Rima, and she's out in the woods and checking in and like a hawk and making sure everything is cool and all the channels are clear. In the studio we have Carrie, and we have our wonderful, wonderful other person in Asheville Rhythm, Trish the Groot. She's all masked up and ready to go. So today's class, our usual level 1 class, are a lot of people, maybe it's their first time or two, but a lot of people actually have been playing for a long time who come to the level 1 class. They use it as a warm-up into the level 2 class, or maybe just somebody's been playing for a few weeks or a few months or a few years. You know, Trish's been playing for 30 years, but she loves to come to the level 1 class. And today, we're going to really take it back and do it like as if it's your first time and a beginner. So we'll get back into our tones and strokes and rhythm building blocks, some of our cell patterns, a couple of pieces that you'll have some background music and melodic tracks happening while we drum. So we're excited to share all of that with you. But very, very first and foremost, the first thing we do before we start drumming is to set an intention, get centered inside of yourself. We'll just do a little visualization. So please just, as you are able, just sit in your chair and just focus on the breath, taking in a few deep breaths. As you inhale, just feel yourself expand, specifically your spinal column. Visualizing all the spaces between each vertebrae. And as you exhale, just relaxing all your muscles and your cartilage and everything that's attached to your bones and fluids and electricity, just kind of relaxing onto your nice, strong core and skeletal system. And with each intake, you're just getting a little bit taller. And try to make your exhalations as long as your inhalations. And I'll be asking you to focus in on the breath as things go along. So how do we get sound into all of the pads on our fingers? Just imagine your root, like a nice ball, maybe the size of a grapefruit or something, just at your root. And as you're breathing in, feeling it expand, it could be any color of light you like, and then slowly there's a cable coming out of that, kind of weaving itself through the spinal column, and feel the curves in the spaces in your spinal column. And then imagine that going to the base of your neck, branching out into your shoulders. And when you get to your shoulders, just visualize 2 balls of energy, and then going down through the arms and into your elbows, another golf ball of energy, down into your forearms and into your wrists, and another golf ball of energy there. And these 6 sockets are crucial as energy moves through them from your back. We're going to focus on those as we move and drum through. Then a little marble-sized energy at each joint in each finger. 3 on each finger and 2 in the thumbs. There's 14 in each hand, 28 altogether, plus these 6. So you can imagine those from here going up and just lighting up. Just imagine everything lighting up and all the points in between that connect them. One more deep breath, and can you visualize all those points? Imagine standing from in front of you as you're sitting in space, or from behind, or a few feet from each side, top and bottom. Imagine what you look like and feel like. And then from your core, just imagine 2 more going down through the thighs, into your knees, balls of energy at your knees, ankles, soles of the feet, down to the center of the planet, and then back up, circulating all the way up back to here, and then back into your fingertips. All happening at microseconds. And what's going to happen, you're going to want to hunch over as we start playing, whether you're playing a doumbek, a djembe, a frame drum. I'm going to focus a lot on frame drum today, and Brandy's available in the chat, so anytime you have any questions or so, you can ask her. She might be able to answer them. If not, she'll ask me, and then we'll get to it. All right? And do a jiggle in your hips so that your shoulders just kind of relax and just fall through, and feel those 6 sockets. What is the motion that's happening now? And you can feel them almost like a turning of the doorknob motion doing this, and then they all have a wave-like motion also. Now, you're not moving it from your shoulder. You're not using the energy in your shoulder. You're letting energy move from your lower back into your fingertips as you do this. Then pretend you're going to throw a ball, right, or cracking a whip, and do it with both hands, because you'll tend to do it just with the lead hand, right? And how does that feel like? And you feel that from here to here, there's a connection, what those connections feel like. And as we play a stroke on the drum, whether it's a drum playing this way, we're going to feel that wave-like motion as we pull the sound from the drum. We're never going to be banging, striking, hitting. We're going to use a different language and pulling the sound out, bouncing from the drum. Before we apply it to the drum, let's see what it feels like if you just drop that. If you put your hands on your laps, can you relax these 6 sockets? Right? So if you jiggle a little bit, because this is the part where it gets hard, because how do you touch a surface while still maintaining the other joints to be relaxed? Okay? And then we're going to just drop our hands and then just pull them back. We're not hitting again. We're just dropping and then dragging and then lifting and making kind of like a tractor wheel thing, or a flattened ellipse. And just that way. Now notice my fingertips are the last things to come up. And then they come down this way. And I'm leading also down with the wrist. In slow motion, I'm actually going like, oh, I'm doing that wave thing. There it is, right? While we do that, let's add something too. Let's go into our first thing that we do, which is our rhythm building blocks. And our rhythm building blocks start with a pulse. Imagine yourself as like 5 layers of a building, and the first thing is a pulse, and that's just your spinal column going up and down, and then we go from one side to the other. So for this, I'll play it on the bass drum on 1 and 3, and then the wood block on 2 and 4, okay? So that there's 2 things, the pulse, the size of the body, the count, which I said was 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the 3rd level. At any point, you could cycle in through them. 3, 4. And let's do those quarter notes just like that. So let's go back to this. So you have our rhythm and our pulses happening, and we're going to get into the subdivisions, but also you're understanding how to use the energy in your body. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So now that you get that and you feel like you got that, let's do the bounce at the same tempo. That's a lot of space. So from the side, it might look like this, right? It's not like this. It's a full da 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 dun 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 2 da 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 3 da 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 4. Good. So those are the 3 levels, and the subdivisions are next. If you look on the sheet there, you'll see 8th notes is one of your first subdivisions, and first think it going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now let's play that alternating going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so my feet are going twice as slow, right? If you can't do your feet, don't worry about it. It's more important to do the hands. And I'm bouncing, lifting, bouncing, lifting, bouncing, lifting, bouncing, lifting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And all right? Now the next thing you can see after that is a triplet. So let's actually just go that. Let's just go up the scale that way. So the pulses and the count's going to say the same, those three things, but we're going to shift into a triplet feel, right? Dun, 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 dun. Let's play that 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now each hand is with the start of the foot too. Da, da. Right, you can go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Da, da, ga, da, ga, da, ga. But you could also start with the other hand. You can go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So whatever suits you and whatever hand is dominant, but you should be able to do all of them. You could also go like this. Tek, 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 ka, ka, ka. Or right, 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 left, left, left. Ta, 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 ta. And where's our count? You still remember? 1, 2, 3. One more. And now let's go to 16th notes, which is doubles of 8th notes. And here we go. They go. Tekka, 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 tekka. The pulse is the same, but you're playing 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E. Now still lift your sternum up, focus on your breath, relax your shoulder blades back. Let's breathe in for 4 counts, like in. Breathe out. That's it. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now what if you want to double that and go to 32nd notes for a second? Each hand would just do the 16th notes. Dun, 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 dun. This is not on the sheet, but let's do it because you're so brave. 1, da, 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 2, da. And then we're going to stagger them and do 8s per subdivision. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. Ready and stop. And just relax the hands for a second. Just shake them out. Really focus on these 3 things being loose by lifting this up, moving it back, focusing on your core and your root, and making sure that your feet are grounded as you play the feet. You don't have to play the feet, but it just adds one more element. So all those elements are going together. On the bottom of that page, the 5th element would be playing like a melody, right? And this one we'll check this one a little bit. So if I'm going pulse, feet, count, 2, 3, and I'm thinking 16th notes, going tek, tek, tek. That gear is solid, and I sing the rhythm, doom, doom, tekka pa, doom, tekka pa. Is that how it's written there? Doom, doom, tekka pa, doom, tekka pa. It's all happening. Doom, doom, tekka pa, doom, tekka pa, right? Doom, doom, tekka pa, doom, but I'm feeling and tekka, 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 pa, tekka, 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 so on. Whatever you play, it will be right because you're swinging in the groove, feeling all the supple vision. Tekka, 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 tek. So it's all there, feeling all that stuff. Let's get into our tones. So if you're playing a lap style drum, you put it on your lap this way. If you put it on your non-dominant lap, just behind the knee. Don't have it parallel to your torso. It kind of tucks in a little bit this way. Okay? You put the flesh of your thumb at 12 o'clock on the tippy top, just like that. You're not holding it, you're just balancing it. Okay? You take the first knuckle down here where it meets the palm of the hand, and you reach over this way. Try to flatten this out without being stiff, and then we're going to lift this way. And we'll get into playing that sound, but right now you're just going to do that, and sometimes we're going to play it this way. That's going to be the ka sound, but you have to know that this hand, part of its gig is to just make sure the drum doesn't fall on the floor. All right? Your lead hand, as you felt that dropping, how do you get that drop into this? So you do that by throwing the drum in there, but first we're going to rub the skin. So rub the skin of your drum. So she's taking her middies off. That's good. Then there's a string through the middle of your elbow, going through the middle of the wrist, through the middle finger, through the center, and it's coming evenly that way, tilting towards your sternum a little bit. And as you throw the hand into the drum, you pull it out. And you put that first pad right there, so all 4 pads of the 4 fingers right on the inside, and then pull out, leading with the wrist. That's it. Bouncing, bouncing. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Getting as big of a tone as you can. I call this my red tone. We have 3 primary colors. This can be your red tone, and you can just spend all day doing this. This is like one of the hardest tones, but it's really the root of everything. You could also use your thumb like this. A lot of people do, especially if your drum is 16 inches or smaller, and that's just rotating the forearm that way. So you're actually rotating from far back as we were doing it this way. Right, and I'm using the whole thumb, especially the bottom part of it, but all of it halfway between the center and the edge. Very center, a little dry sound, edge a little too high-pitched, but still that dark sound this way. And you could also use the top of the fingers, all 4 fingers this way, kind of where the finger top meets the nail. Not the finger pads, because you get a flat sound that way. And sometimes so it's kind of just coming this way, you can see. Or you could just do the index finger or the middle finger, a variety of fingers that way. And sometimes you'll just do it with a ring finger when we're playing handheld, right? We'll do it this way. And you can see I'm just rotating that ring finger in it. And if you're a handheld player, we'll rotate on the thumb this way. Not so much this way, because you got to be able to get the speed that way and so on. So that's our doom sound. And we'll get into those together. We'll put all our sounds together. If you pull out this way, you'll get our tech sound, and tech is a high-pitched sound. And there's more explanation on these on our website. There's the one called Tones and Strokes. There's a whole 10-minute one called Rhythm Building Blocks. And there's one on the visualizations. You could always tune into those to really get some more practice in those. So I'll go through these ones on the quicker side, but enough to give you time to do them. So that's these 3 fingers, but tech can be played with any of the pads, and it's basically the center of the top of the pad, right there, right where the skin meets the wood, right? And then you could isolate the fingers. You could do the ring finger. That's a very common finger to use for that. And I'm really pulling the sound out, and I have to be really quick to get that high, ringy sound. How about the middle finger? Okay? Or you could use the index finger. When I'm using the index finger, I tend to throw it in this way with the thumb. Remember when we did the thumb this way? It's the same energy that uses the index finger that way. You're just turning it in this way, right? Feel that? Watch. If you do the thumb this way, and then you pull the thumb out, and then just do the index finger, the majority of the counterweight for the index finger is happening in the thumb. And then you can pull it out to the edge, and then you get a nice ringy sound. And we can spend a lot of time working on the fingers, but just a quick thing to do, if some of you have been playing, it's not your first time, we can do a tech sound by playing the pinky, ring, middle, index. And I use piano fingering, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it would be 5, 4, 3, 2, and just do that over and over. At first, I love to practice this one where you put all the pads into the drum, so it would be 5, 4, 3, 2. And you just let the finger flop in there and then just pull it out with the wrist. It's pinky, ring, middle, index. I'm pulling out. Notice I pull out my wrist first. Pinky, ring, middle, index. Pinky, ring. And really exaggerate the stroke at this point, because you could play this in quadruple time if you want. Let's put 2 strokes on each finger, like this. Pinky, pinky, ring, ring, middle, index, index. Pinky, pinky, ring, ring. Use your energy from your back and your full arm, right? We're not just digitizing like that. It's not like a typewriter that way. You're throwing energy from your back because you need the power. You got to use movement. You don't want your wrist to get hot or any of your knuckles to get hot. And disperse the energy all the way to your back. One more. Pinky, pinky, ring, ring. How about 3 per each one like this? Pinky, 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 ring, 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 middle, index, index, index. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2. That's it. Pinky, 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 ring, 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 middle, index, index, index. One more. Should we try 4 for pulse? Sure. 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. Pinky, ring, middle, index. Dun, 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 dun. One more time. Stop, and eventually you'll almost always use pinky, ring, middle, index, and then you'll roll for a roll. You'll just throw them down, pinky, ring, middle, index, and then go to another stroke up here. We'll get that out to the second, but that's how you do your rolls. It's a 5-stroke roll, 4 in this hand and 1 here. Sometimes it could be a 4-stroke. There'll just be 3 in here. And you could do it on the edge too. Lots of colors. You can do it dry. Lots and lots of colors. Okay, so lots of ways to play tech. So when I say tech, it could be the ring. Sometimes on Doom, it could be middle and ring. It could be the index, just whatever you're feeling at the time. That same tone on your non-dominant hand is called ka, tech and ka. Put the fingers over this way. At first, you got to practice opening up that wrist and then just throwing this down. Okay? And then how do you get that edge sound? You have to come from the side because you still want to keep the fingers kind of straight because that's where your power lies. If you're back here, you're not going to get the power and the strokes that you need. And you throw it from here. And you have to practice that. It's like lifting up this thing here in a 10th and it's peekaboo, hello, and you can walk in there. But this side stays on. The thumb is there. Okay? And then you're going to come at it this way. You can use the ring and the middle, and this is the harder stroke. All right? It could take you, make it feel like months or years before you feel adequate on that because this one's getting along. But don't worry, it's going to happen. And you could double it. Ka, 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 ka. 1 and 2 and 3. Cool. And just really feel like you're bouncing and lifting. Ka, ka. And if you play them back and forth, they should sound kind of the same. Trying to get equality of sound right between both hands. And then that would just be tekka, 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 tekka. Nice and bouncy, bounce and lift and bounce and lift and 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. And there's our subdivisions are for the pulse, the feet, the count, and the stroke going 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a tekka, 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 and stop. Ending with the doom. Our last, and by the way, the ka, you could also do a snap. Dun, dun, dun. You take your first knuckle over the edge. Some of you can do, and if you can do right now, don't worry about it. So, and then you take it over the other side of the thumb towards your sternum. You try to straighten it out. You don't just try to come back, and you just snap. And you just try to get that top pad right where the skin meets the wood. That's it. Snap. And then you come around. And then once you get it, you can do it nice and soft. But there's a lot of volume in there. And then eventually you'll do your middle finger, so you get a double snap. You add your pinky, a triple snap, and then you could add your index finger. And you can snap it over the middle finger that way. But that's for the next few levels. But just so you're inquiring, so you can do a 5-stroke roll that way too, from pinky, ring, middle, index, step. But don't worry, it's not just going to happen that fast, but that's the idea. So it's a whole different color world. And you get kind of speeds you can without having to double that. If I had to do that double, it would be really hard and I would get tired and would cramp up after a while. This way I could just relax and just bounce the 2 fingers or 3 fingers over that nice and smooth. Okie dokie. So our pa sound is our dry sound. Take your drum in your hand like that. Pa, 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 pa. Okay, and it's in the center, just around the center, just the pads. Just a little pop sound. Don't stiffen up the wrist because it'll hurt after a while. So if you're throwing everything there and just like an octopus hand, pull it out, and then last second it's going to come out. And it's dry. And the harder thing to do is going from doom to pa. Doom, pa, doom, pa, doom. 2 dooms. Doom, doom, pa. So bouncing and then just dropping it on the pa and dry. So wet, wet, dry. Doom, doom, pa, doom, doom, pa. Awesome. We're going to jump into some call and responses. So get yourself a drink of water. We're going to do a little relay. I'm going to play a rhythm, and then you're going to follow me. This won't be written down. Then after that, we'll do all written down stuff. So get a sip of water. How's it going out there, Brandy? Everybody's happy and ready. There's no real questions. We can just carry on with our call and response.
I think they're doing great so far.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to put dooms and techs and pas together over on our. So we're going to combine the rhythm building blocks with the tones and strokes and just come up with some spontaneous rhythms, and then we'll go into stuff written out. All right. Our pulse. So we're engaging the whole body. Our feet back and forth. All right. Our count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to start off with subdivisions of 16th notes because those covers quarters and eighths. They don't cover triplets. We'll shift to triplets when we get there. All right, but now it's going to be So feel that gear going, just with, you know, there's the side to side, there's the up and down, and tekka, 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 tekka. One more bar, then follow me. Good. Let's do this. Doom, doom, tek, and then doom, doom, pa. Doom, doom, tek, doom, doom, pa. Bass, bass, edge, bass, bass, mute. And let that tek ring. Two more. Doom, doom, tek, doom, 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 tek. Awesome. Let's do some eighth notes like this. Tekka, 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 pa. Tekka, 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 pa. Tekka, 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 pa. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. One more. Tekka. Good. Let's try 16th notes like this. Tekka, 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 pa. Tekka, 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 pa. Tekka, 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 tekka. Are you breathing? Lifting up the sternum, relaxing the shoulder blades. One more time. Tekka, 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 tekka. Good, let's change the third beat like this. Tekka, 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 doom, doom, pa. Tekka, 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 doom, doom, pa. Tekka, 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 doom, doom, pa. One more. Tekka, 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 tekka. Let's switch that around a little bit. Doom, doom, tekka, 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 pa. Doom, doom, tekka, tekka, tekka. Remember the count? 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 E and a. One more time. Doom, doom, tekka, tekka. Great. Let's try this variation. Doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, doom, pa. Doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, doom, pa. Keep going. Doom, doom, tekka, tekka. What if I'm playing the djembe? We'll go doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, pa. You can play the pa with the other hand. Tekka, tekka. Tekkas are just more of the open tones. Bass tones are here. Good. One more. Good. Let's try this. 1. Doom, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, tek, pa. Doom, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, tek, pa. Doom, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, tek, pa. One more. Doom, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, tek, pa. A little different. Doom, doom, tek, tekka, tek, tekka, pa. Doom, doom, tek, tekka, tek, tekka, pa. And doom, doom, tek, tekka, tek, tekka, pa. Doom, doom, tek, tekka, tek, tekka, pa. One more. Doom, doom, tek, tekka, tek, tek. Let's try this one. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom, tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, doom. I hope you're saying it as we play it. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom, tekka, tekka, pa. Open up the shoulders. Remember your count. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Let's try this one. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, pa. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom. Now if I'm a righty, it's going to go right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right. Right, left, right. What if you're a lefty? It's left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. Left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. One more. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom. Good. Let's try this variety. Doom, tekka, tekka, tek, tekka, tekka, pa. Doom, tekka, tekka, tek, tekka, tekka, pa. Two more. Doom, tekka, tekka, tek, tekka, tekka, pa. One more. And let's learn our break number 1. This is break number 1. Tekka, tekka, pa. Then tekka, tekka, pa. Then tekka, 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 pa. Again. Tekka, tekka, pa. Again. Then 3 tekka, tekkas. Tekka, 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 pa. 2 bars of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, 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 pa. All right, so let's put all that together with a basic way of reading something. This is going to be our cell patterns number 1. So some of you, every week I create a new Dropbox link. It just doesn't matter that it's Dropbox, but you just get into it, and each week they're different. And then they stay like that forever. So we have some from a year or 2 ago, and they're always live unless something happens to the internets and we whatever comes down, but they're all up there in the lovely cloud, so you could always access them. A lot of people, they take them down, download them to their computer, whatever you want to do, it's fine. They're not huge file sizes. They're pretty small. So I'm going to go to cell patterns. Did I do everything up until there? I did. Cell patterns, number 1. Trying to be organized today. Thank you. So you'll see on top, if you read musical notation, oh, that thing might not be hooked up. We have another screen in here. You see that plug over there? That's got to go into here. Sorry, folks. We were almost together. Yes. Just make sure you get it in there good. As they say. Let's see if that works. Wake up. Oh, everything has shifted, but it's okay. You're worth it. It's not a shifted telly, but you're worth it. It is a shifted telly, actually. It's a rhythm. Inside joke for all you rhythmicists out there. So you're going to see the top part I wrote like traditional notation. Those are eighth notes, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for these purposes, and most of the music I write for these classes, each cell is a pulse, right? And there's 4 pulses. For this one, it's in 4/4. So if you look at the very first line, these are, when I say it's a 2-cell pattern, doom-ka is just a 1 cell. Doom-ka. You can do that all in line. Doom-ka, 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 doom-ka. But we have 4 cells, and each one would be the foot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And let's do each line 4 times. So very slowly, that first one would be this. And you just use the first letter of each syllable to get it there, right? So it's doom-ka-te-ka, doom-ka. Just over and over, just to practice those strokes. And it's also good to use your eyes to practice reading it. This is a different kind of reading. It's not like reading words. It's a call to action. It just tells you what to do when. So let's do these. We're going to do them. We'll do them. Should we do them 4 times each or 2 times each? What are you feeling, Brandy? Survey says.
I'd say 4.
4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and we won't go back. Well, actually, we will in a different way. I'll show you how. All right. So pulse. Get your feet. The count is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all happening in the subdivision is eighth notes. Let's do the first line. Here we go. And doom ka te ka doom ka. That's one whole time. Second time. Ka. So we're doing each line 4 times. And again, doom ka te ka doom ka te ka. One more. Let's do line number 2. Here we go. And doom ka pa ka doom ka pa ka. All the hands are just alternating. Okay. Don't forget to breathe. Relax the shoulders. One more time. Doom ka pa ka. Number 3 and teka doom ka teka doom ka. So you've played this pattern before, but the 1 was on the doom. Now it's on the tek. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Make your drum sing. Number 4 and teka pa ka 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 teka. You're just getting used to the hands playing in those spots and making those tones. The 5th line, pa ka doom ka pa ka doom ka pa ka doom ka pa ka. So we're just running through all the variations. Doom ka pa ka. Actually, there's a lot, not an infinite amount, but a lot. Number 6 and pa ka teka 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 pa ka teka. Good. You feel that? Ready and stop. So what if we just did each one of those? Since there are 2-cell patterns, let's do 1 time each time. You could also do 2 times each time. You can do that on your own. You could go back and look at any of these videos. This will stay live as long as YouTube is alive. So for that long, and that might be infinity. And you can do you could do them at twice as fast in the little gear settings on the bottom. You can do it 3/4 fast, half speed. So you have the variety of doing that. I sounded a little warbly at half speed, but my kids like it. So we'll take it a tiny bit faster. Actually, we'll stay the same since we'll do it 1 time each line, the first 6 lines. Okay, here's 4 for nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And doom ka teka doom ka teka. Line 2, doom ka pa ka doom ka, pa ka. 3, teka, doom ka, teka. 4, teka, pa ka, teka, pa ka. 5, pa ka, doom ka, pa ka, doom ka. Then pa ka, teka, pa ka, teka. That's actually a lot. In some ways, we were playing much harder rhythms for the call and response, but to see it, and you're integrating a different way. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, ready? Line 1 to 6. Doom ka, teka, doom ka, teka, doom ka, pa ka, doom ka, pa ka, teka, doom ka, teka. Line 4, teka, pa ka, teka, pa ka. 5, pa ka, doom ka, pa ka, doom ka. Then pa ka, teka, pa ka, teka. Sweet. Let's do these 4 4-cell patterns. All right. So now a whole 4 cycle is going to take to change to come back to the 1. These last ones were just half a bar each, half a measure each, 2 beats each. So you would repeat it within a measure. So 7 is going to be doom ka, teka, doom ka, pa ka. All right. Let's do each one 4 times and do 7 through 10. 1, 2. You know what to do. And doom ka, teka, doom ka, pa ka, doom ka, teka, doom ka, pa ka. Relax into the tone and just breathe a nice rich doom, tek, doom. 8, doom ka, teka, pa ka, teka, doom ka, teka, pa ka, teka. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and doom ka, tek. Beautiful. Number 9 and teka, doom ka, teka, pa ka, teka, doom ka, teka, pa ka, teka, doom ka, teka, pa ka, teka, doom. Sweet. Number 10 and pa ka, doom ka, pa ka, teka, pa ka, doom ka, pa ka, teka, pa ka, doom ka, pa ka, teka, pa ka, doom. Good. Back to 7, 2 times each line. Doom ka, teka, doom ka, pa ka, doom ka, teka, doom ka. 8, doom ka, teka, pa ka, teka, doom ka, teka, pa ka. 9, teka, doom ka, teka, pa ka, teka, doom ka, teka. And then 10, pa ka, doom ka, pa ka, teka, pa ka, doom ka, pa ka, teka, and stop. And on your own, you could just do them now while you're waiting me to flip the page. For me to flip the page, you can just do them one each time. And you could do it as fast as you want. What if you want to do each one 7 through 10 faster? Doomka, teka, doomka, paka, doomka, teka, paka, teka, teka, doomka, teka, paka, paka, doomka, paka, teka. Right? So then it becomes like sight reading, and you really have to focus on all that stuff, going through it. Doomka, teka, doomka, paka, doomka, teka, paka, teka, teka, doomka, teka, paka, paka, doomka. So, and of course, and then it just gives you the ability to improvise, right? Now let's mix it up so we're not just doing alternates on the second page. Brandy.
And of course, that is a great exercise to do with a metronome.
Metronome. And if you don't have a metronome, just call me up. I'll come over with my cowbell. Doomka, teka, taka, teka, doomka,
There are also
teka,
lots of
paka,
great
teka,
metronome
doomka,
apps
teka,
that you can
paka,
put on your
teka,
phone
doomka,
and have a
teka,
metronome
paka,
with
teka.
you all the time, especially when you're driving in a car and want to play the steering wheel.
Yes, we all love our steering wheels so much. They're all worn out. So let's do since I feel like we're getting good, and let's just move on these ones. Let's do, of the 2-cell patterns, let's do each one of these. We'll go a little quicker down these ones. They're a little interesting because there's so much more we want to do, right? So 2 times each line, 1 through 6, 1 through 6, 1 through 6. This is the second page, the ones with doubles. Cool. Here we go. All right, so 1, 2, ready, play. Doom, doom, ka, ka, doom, doom, ka, ka, doom, doom, ka, ka. Good. Number 2, and tek, tek, ka, ka, tek, tek. Try to make them sound even if you can. Number 3, pa, pa, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka, pa, pa, Number 4, and doom, ka, ka, doom, doom. Those are inverted doubles. Doom, doom, ka, ka, doom, doom. Number 5, tek, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka, ka. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 6. Pa, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka, pa. Let's go back to 1. One time. Doom, doom, ka, ka, doom. Number 2, tek, tek, ka, ka, tek, tek. 3, pa, pa, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka, doom, ka, ka, doom, doom, ka. 5, tek, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka, ka, tek, pa, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka. Yeah, those are tongue twisters. If you like some of those, like if you like number 4 and you're giving you a hard time, slow it down. You might have to just tap it with one foot. Whatever you got to do to get it first. It's doom, ka, ka, doom, doom. And sometimes you just have to get what the hands are doing. So if you're just playing on your lap and you're just sitting on your bus, doom, ka, ka, doom, doom, ka, ka. Oh, it's that, or it's left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. It's not left, left, right, right, where the double is on each note. It's inverted that way, and that's what makes it tricky. And then you can just do it, ka, ka, doom. And then once you get it, you could set it on different metronome setting or whatever, or turn them into 16th notes, doom, ka, ka, doom, doom, ka, ka. But that's a really useful little cell pattern to learn. And then you just change the hands to the tones, tek, tek, and so on and so forth. So let's do the last part of these, the 4 cell patterns. Okay, the first one, 7 through 10, doom, doom, ka, ka, tek. These are great, 4 times each, and then we'll go back to it and just do 1 time each. All right, 7 through 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doom, doom, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka, ka. Doom, doom, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka, ka. Doom, doom, ka, 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 ka. One more. Number 8, and doom, doom, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka. Doom, doom, ka, ka, pa, pa. Doom, doom, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka. Da, 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 da. 9. Doom, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka, ka. Doom, doom, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka, ka. Doom, doom, ka, ka, tek, tek. Another tongue twister. Doom, ka, ka, tek, tek. 10. Pa, ka, ka, doom, doom, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka. Doom, doom, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka. Doom, doom. Good. Let's do what we said. Go back to 7. 1 time each. Doom, doom, ka, ka, tek, tek. 8. Doom, doom, ka, ka, pa, pa. 9. Doom, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka, ka. Doom, pa, ka, ka. Doom, doom. Tricky. 7 again. Doom, doom, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka. 8. Doom, doom, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, ka. 9. Doom, ka, ka, tek, tek, ka, ka. Doom, pa, ka, ka. Doom, doom, ka, ka, pa. And you could take that to town, right? Doom, ka, ka, pa, pa, ka, pa, doom. And you could invert them and change them around, whatever works for you. And there's more on that, but we're going to let that one go. And a lot of these rhythms, we're not just going to do 8th notes and not just 16th notes. It's going to be a combination. So we're going to do right now our cell patterns number 4. And maybe we just do a page of this. And on your own, you can do other stuff. So let's just dib-dabble in this one a little bit, all right? So this first one, and I have lots of these. I have so many things. I think in the last just year, we've come up with 150 files of music notation. And sometimes they're just little rudimental things and nuggets and cell patterns. Other times they're long phrases, and then we have long compositions. So we'll try to get into all that tonight. All right. So the first one is long, short, short, or 8th, 16th, 16th. So where does that fit into our schematics? You have to be feeling all the 16th notes. You always break it down to the smallest element you have, right? So it's always going to go, just try it on one hand and don't even think about it so much. What is it? Right, dun, 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 dun. But feel it with the feet if you can. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Good. Let's do number 1. Here we go. It goes doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka. Tall notes are louder. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom. So you're just feeling that? Tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom. Nice. Number 2, same sound, but you go doom, ka, doom, ka, doom, ka. So if you're righty, it's right, left, right, left, right, left. If you're lefty, it's left, right, left, right, left, right, left, doom, ka. Let's do number 3 and tech, a tech, a tech, a tech. So the tech is long, and that's long. The tech, a tech, a tech, a tech. Feeling it? Don't forget to breathe. Let's do number 4 and tech, 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 tech. You get the idea, right? You start to not think about it and feel it all. Let's 5 and pa, tech a pa, tech a pa, tech a pa. This one's a little bit harder. You gotta reach. Don't be lazy when you're playing the pa, tech a pa, and nice and light for the tech, tech a pa, tech a pa. Number 6 and pa, 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 pa. Right? Open up your wrists. Lift your sternum. Don't forget to breathe. Ready for 7? It's different. Ka, doom, doom, ka, doom, doom, ka, doom, doom, ka, doom, doom, ka, doom, doom. Nice ka if you can. You might need to snap it. Ka, doom, doom, ka, doom, doom, ka, doom, doom, ka. Counting 1, 2, 3. Number 8. Ka, tech, tech, 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 ka. You can play it all around the set if you have bunch of drums. Ka, tech, tech, ka. Number 9 and ka, pa, pa, 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 ka. Ka, pa, pa, ka, pa, pa. Ready and so obviously you could do it at any speed, any tempo, and just play it one time each would be the ultimate one. Let's just do a few of these, all right? Because these are interesting too on the next one. And then, because these are going to be used so much in some of the rhythms that we do. So it's good just to have them inside of yourself, all right? And I could easily skip the whatchamacallits, but I think we're just going to do it. And for this one, let's do 2, just for the breeze of it. Let's do 1 through, we're going to do 1 through 12. All right, can you see all of them over there? Yes, good. 1 through 12. Now this one we'll do it 2 times each. We're not going to do any faster, if anything slower, because you just have to process it. 2 times each. All right, 1 through 12, second page. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doom, tech a tech, tech a doom, tech a tech. Again, doom, tech a tech, tech a. Great. Number 2. Doom, ka tech, ka doom. That's it. Ka doom, ka tech, ka doom. Number 3. Doom, tech a pa, tech a doom, tech a pa, tech a doom, tech a pa, tech a doom, tech a. 4. Doom, ka pa, ka doom. In some ways this is harder, or this is easier, having the doubles, right? 5. Tech, tech a doom, tech a tech, tech a doom, tech a tech, tech a doom, tech a tech. 6. Tech, ka doom, ka tech, ka doom, ka tech, ka doom. That is it. You got it. Then tech, tech a pa, tech a tech, tech a pa, tech a tech, tech a pa, tech a tech, tech a. 8. Going tech, ka pa, ka tech, ka pa, ka tech, ka pa, ka. Good. 9. Pa, tech a doom, tech a pa, tech a doom, tech a pa, tech a doom, tech a pa. 10. Pa, ka doom, ka pa, ka doom, ka pa, ka doom. Get into the trance. 11. Pa, tech a tech, tech a pa, tech a tech, tech a pa, tech a tech, tech a pa, tech. And 12. Going pa, ka tech, ka pa, ka tech, ka pa. Let that tech sing pa, ka tech, ka. Now, you might have a little bit of hard time going through some of that of theirs because your mind is like, what is it, this, is that? And that's why I have them both ways, but it's all going in there. So just shake your head a little bit, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. That's for people who've been playing for a while. You know, that might even be a challenge as you're like moving through them, but it's okay because so much of the time we just freestyle and we go through different things and so on. And there's more. If you download the file, and there's actually a third page, and there's so much for you to do. And it goes doom, tekka, tek, tekka, doom, tekka, pa, tekka, doom. Just combining different cells of the same exact rhythmic cycle, but just changing the tones makes a cool beat. Right? Still going long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, sugar, doom, tekka, tek, tek. You've probably played that a bunch of times in your life. It's not an uncommon beat, but to see it written out and see what the heck are my hands doing. But now you know you have a correspondence and throwing the synapses through your neurons and all that, because you're all super geniuses out there. All right. If there's no questions, I'm going to make sure I'm on the right swing of things. We're going to take some of these. These are 90-minute classes. This is no joke. We're doing it, though, and you're doing it. If we're doing a live class, this is the time when I ask folks, does anybody have a good joke? So if you have a good joke out there, just tell it to your neighbor, your friend, or chat. It has to be appropriate. This is an all ages environment over here, so be cool about it. I'm going to make this one bigger. We are going to do our Middle Eastern rhythms with our melody track, and in recent history, we've been adding some melody tracks, so that we're not just drummy, drummy, drummy all the time. There's a purpose to this because all these very common Middle Eastern rhythms, these are like a basic set right here. There's 4 of them, and then there's 2 breaks. We learned one of the break already in the call and response, and we'll learn the other one in a second. But these are all common rhythms, and it makes more sense when there's some kind of music happening behind them. So I wrote some out, and they're on the file, and we can play them slow or medium or fast, and so it's cool. So you're going to see now this first, let's actually look at break number 2 so you see how that was written with 16th notes. We haven't read anything with full 16th notes. We had the dun, 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 dun. But remember break 1 we did in the call response? It went tekka, tekka, pa, tekka, tekka, pa, then tekka, 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 pa. I think that's pretty easy to look. Let's do that 2 times. I mean, what you see is kind of what you get this way. 1, 2. Break number 1, which is tekka, tekka, pa, tekka, tekka, pa, tekka, 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 tekka. One more time. Tekka, tekka, pa, tekka, tekka, pa, tekka, 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 pa. Good. And its sibling, it's break number 2. Still has the tekka tekkas, but we're having dooms now. Let's do this one slower. It's going to go tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Again, tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Then tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, pa. We actually did that in the call response. Dun, dun, dun. Somebody was thinking ahead. So let's do break 2 2 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, pa. Again. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, pa. Perfect. Let's do these other rhythms. I think it's going to be fine. Then we're going to do it with a melody like in 3 different speeds, slow, medium, and fast. And we're even going to try to do it stepping, because usually on our classes we try to step, because that puts it into a whole different level. You're not just doing, you can either step back and forth, or you can do a box step, and the choice is yours. So melody, it's one of the most common Middle Eastern rhythms. It sounds like a maksum just about, if you know that one, but we're going to stick to melody today. The first cell, 2 dooms, easy peasy. Got it. Second cell, tekka tek. That's another cell pattern which I didn't show you. There's only so much we can do in one class. So instead of long, short, short, it's short, short, long. Let's try that one. Second cell, tekka tek, tekka tek. Accent second tek, tekka tek, tekka tek, tekka tek. Great. What if you loop beats 1 and 2? It goes doom, doom, tekka tek, doom, doom, tekka tek. This beat 1, beat 2. Great. Awesome. Beat 3, you did that. That was one of the very first things in our cell pattern of the 4. It's doom, tekka. Remember that? But now we're going to go to a pa. So beats 3 and 4 are going to go doom, tekka, pa. Doom, tekka, pa. Got it? Doom, tekka, pa. Doom. And make sure you're always singing it. Doom, tekka, pa. Great. Doom, Let's play the whole thing together. Let's sing it 2 times, then play, because you really got to get it internally. Feet, the count, right? Here's the count over here. Let's sing melody, going doom, doom, teka, tek, doom, teka, pa. Doom, doom, teka, tek, doom. Here we go, and doom, doom, teka, tek, doom, teka, pa. Doom, doom, teka, tek, doom, teka, pa. If you played this before, you could add a teka at the end. Doom, teka, pa, teka, doom, doom. Don't worry about it, just play what's written. Doom, doom, teka, tek, doom. Let's do one more. Now you keep the pulse the same, and then you go to break number 1, which is teka, teka, pa, teka, teka, pa, teka, 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 pa. Good. I'm not going to overdo this one because let's do it with the music. I just want you to get the nuts and bolts of how it goes, then we'll be able to go to the next level of it. Shift to telly. It has syncopations. How is this going to go? So for right now, instead of over-explaining it and tell you how it's syncopated, you can see the second beat is empty, right? It's doom, ka-tek, doom, doom, pa, right? Dun, 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 dun. If you play that with one hand, dun, 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 dun. It's almost easier. Try that. Tek, 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 doom, doom, pa. One more. Doom, tek, 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 tek. Now if we split up the hands, it goes like this. Doom, ka-tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka-tek, You really have to feel the subdivisions. Again, doom, ka-tek, doom, doom, pa. One more. And then break number 2, which is teka, teka, doom, doom, teka, teka, doom, doom, teka, doom, teka, doom, teka, doom. Let's try that one more time. Teka, teka, doom, doom, teka, teka, doom, doom, teka, doom, teka, doom, teka, and stop. You're doing really well. Mouse Moody, it's an 8-beat pattern. 2 bars of 4 or 8 beats, however you want to look at it. First beat's easy, doom. Second beat's easy, doom. Third beat, teka, teka. Fourth beat, tek. So the first 4 beats go doom, doom, teka, teka, tek. That's easy. Doom, doom, teka, teka, tek. Now the next part, we did this in the call and response, but we did it without the accents. Without the accents, because you see those kas give it the swing, it's going to go doom, teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. Just sing it. Doom, teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. Doom, teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. Doom, teka, teka, tek. Let's swing the ka, going like this. Doom, teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. Doom, teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. Doom, teka, teka, tek. So let's look what's happening there. If you just play those 5 notes, teka, teka, tek. You're actually in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's crucial to do on the teka, teka, tek. Or end with the pa. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, teka, pa. Let's do the whole Masmudi. All right? 1, 2, 8-beat rhythm. Doom, doom, teka, teka, tek. Then doom, teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. That's it. Doom, doom, teka, teka, tek. Then doom, teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. One more. Doom, doom, teka, teka, tek. Then doom, teka, teka, tek. Beautiful. What if we do our malfouf right now? So the malfouf is going to be, it's like the first 2 beats of the shiftatelli, and that's it. A basic malfouf can just be those first 2 beats going doom, ka-tek, ka-tek. You could just do that over and over all night long. Or doom, tek, 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 tek. But make sure you accent the second one. It's also 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Very common nugget of a rhythm from around the world. The next half is doom, ka-pa, ka-pa, doom, ka-pa, ka-pa, doom, ka-pa. Right? Does that once. Doom, ka pa, ka pa. Put so both together would go doom, ka tek, doom, ka pa, doom, ka tek, doom, ka pa, doom, ka tek, It's very syncopated. Doom, ka tek, doom, ka pa, Cool. Now let's do the last set of breaks. Break number 1 goes like this. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, teka, teka. And then you jump to break number 2. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka. Great. And then you repeat that cycle one more time. Teka, teka, pa, teka, pa. I'm going to do it with the music because it's just too much drummy right now. We need some music in there. And we'll play our file, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it through the same sound source that you are listening to right now. Brandy, if everything's cool, I'm just going to finish off with this one. Then we'll give. So we'll hear. We're going to do this one. Yes, we will. All right, ready? We're going to hear 4 beats of nothing, and then we'll switch it back to our rhythm. Are you ready? You need a deep breath first. You need a potato chip or a cheese puff or rock carrot or whatever you eat or don't drink or so on. Your kombucha. Here we goes. 1, 2, melody and doom, doom, teka, tek, doom, teka, pa. Doom, doom, teka, tek, doom, teka, pa. You've been playing for a while. Feel free to embellish wherever you want. Doom, doom, teka, tek, doom, teka, pa. Doom, doom, teka, tek, doom, teka, pa. Doom, doom, teka, tek, doom. There you go. Here comes break number 1 and teka, teka, pa. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, 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 teka. One more time. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, 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 teka. Shift the telly and doom, ka, teka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka, teka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka, teka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Dun, 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 dun. Halfway. Doom, ka, teka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka, teka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka, teka, tek, doom. One more. Break number 2. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, doom, teka, doom, teka, doom, pa. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, doom. Great. Mas Moody and doom, doom. Teka, teka, tek, doom. Teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. Doom, doom. Teka, teka, tek, doom. Teka, teka, tek, teka, teka, pa. Then it's doom, doom. Teka, teka, tek, doom. Teka, teka, tek. One more. Malfoof and doom, ka, tek, doom, ka, pa, doom, ka, tek, doom, ka, pa, doom, ka, tek. One ear on yourself, one ear on the music, going doom, da, 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 doom, ka, pa, doom, ka, tek, doom, ka, pa. Great. You ready for the double break? Here we go and teka, teka, pa. Teka, teka, pa. Then teka, 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 pa. Then teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, doom. Do that again. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, teka, pa. Teka, 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 pa. 2. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, teka, doom, doom. Teka, doom, teka, doom, teka, doom, pa. Awesome. Good job, good job. How does that feeling? While we're getting ready, we're going to do some stepping. And let me show you how our stepping works in this class, all right? So you can use a different drum. You could use the same drum. You could use a book, a pizza box. If you just want to hunker down with what you have, because that just seems so much right there, right? You can just sit down and do it. But for those who like to hold their frame drums, we're going to do a different type of thing. Brandy, are you cool? Is there anything you need to say while people get their drums?
Well, it looks like the number has stayed pretty steady throughout, but in case people are coming and going and anybody is joining us kind of at this midway point, I guess we're more than midway. We're 2/3. So if anybody is joining us later, just want to say welcome to World Percussion and Rhythm with River Guerguerian. And the level 1 class, this particular class tonight, because it's free, we are just covering all kinds of basics, which in the world of drumming is also called rudiments. That is a fancy vocabulary word for you for drumming basic concepts. So we're covering some of those basic concepts and musical theory. So, maybe you've played a really long time, but you just didn't know some of these words that people have used to mean very specific things. So we've talked about the concept of measures and cells making up measures and measures making up beats. So so tonight we're covering a lot of that kind of stuff, and we usually have more time to spend on these rhythms like what we've done in the last few minutes, and River makes these great musical accompaniments to go with them so that you get to really grow your vocabulary of rhythms from around the world, and how to use them, how to understand them, how to apply them to melody. So the level 1 class is usually a little bit harder than what it is tonight. It's usually meant to be for someone who already knows those basics, but you can play this video as often as you like until you know those basic concepts inside and out and upside down and can play them forward and back, and then you can play with us whenever you want. And so we have these live stream classes every Wednesday. We have the level 1 class, which is sort of like beginner through intermediate, and then we've got a level 2 class, which is intermediate through advanced and sometimes very advanced, and we are going to start that class tonight at 7. It's also going to be free tonight, but you can join the live streams by purchasing them one class at a time. You can purchase them as an archive after the fact for half price, or you can pay the full price so that you can utilize the chat on the side where you can ask questions in real time and get an answer or get the instruction adjusted.
Or get a subscription.
Or get a subscription. Remo will set you up with a subscription, and you save a little money that way, and then you don't even have to go through our website every week. It just magically comes to your email box. And basically, whenever you purchase the classes, you get a PDF sent to you that has these URLs, because they are normally unlisted URLs, and so you would normally have to know the secret URL in order to find the class. But this one will be free forever. Watch it as often as you like. Tell your friends about it. Play along every day, and happy drumming.
Happy drumming. And so let's practice our stepping. What does that look like as I was playing that rhythm, right? Just that malfoo rhythm. That's going to be one of the harder ones. First, it's click, click. You're still feeling that thing, and it's not just from one side of the body. So now we're going to do a box step, right? So your box step will be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So a good thing to do just to practice first, let's just go tek, ka. Wait a minute. You might not know how to hold the drum. Hold on. So you take your non-dominant hand, you relax it, you lift it up like here, not from your elbow, as if like you're just lifting it up this way, down, this, right? Not like this. And then the weight of the drum is going to go right there on the top of you're going to shake somebody's hand, and it's just right there. And then the thumb is going this way, keeping it from going that way. And you could use these 2 fingers for a freehand style, and your doom is basically the same way. You can do it this way or with your thumb. Now, of course, when we get more fancy, you're going to have to pivot and put like 10-20% of the weight on your thumb and pivot this way, and then you can do your doom also with all the 4 fingers. Notice how I'm rotating it, or the ring finger that way. That's in all the tone. All these things are in the Tones and Stroke video, which is also on that online classes page. And then the pa, you can just drop it. You can play freehand style this way by dropping it, or just rotating it that way. Right? So if our pulse is over here, right, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just practice getting teks and kas together. Tek. So each one was with a foot, same hand with the same foot. Tek, ka. But life's not always so generous that way. You might do eighth notes going tek, ka, 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 tek, ka. What if you do 16th notes? Tekka, 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 tekka. Great, let's do it. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, I'll do tekka, tekka, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Right? Let's try break number 2 with a stepping like this. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, pa. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom. So it gets complicated kind of quickly, but just, if that all just seems crazy, just sit down and play the drum. Right, but if not, just watch and go back and forth. Let's try that same thing we did, stepping. All right, and we're going to step in the same time. You ready? 2 bars for nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doom, doom, tekka, tek, doom, tekka, pa. 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 2 more. Doom, doom, tekka, tek, doom, tekka, pa. Break number 1 and tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, 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 pa. Then tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, pa. Shift a telly. Doom, ka, tekka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka, tekka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka, tekka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Are your feet right with the beat? Doom, ka, tekka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka, tekka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Doom, ka, tekka, tek, doom, doom, pa. Here we go. Break number 2. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, pa. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, doom. Good. Mas moody. Doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, tek. Doom. Tikka, tikka, tek. Tikka, tikka, pa. Doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, tek. Doom. Tikka, tikka, tek. Tikka, tikka, pa. Going doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, tek. Doom. Tikka, tikka, tek. Tikka, tikka, pa. Then it's doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, tek. Doom. Tikka, tikka, tek. Good. Malfoof going doom. Ka, tek, ka, tek. Doom. Ka, pa, ka, pa. That's it. Swing it. Doom. Ka, tek, ka, tek. Doom. Ka, pa, ka, pa. Doom. Ka, tek, ka, tek. Doom. Ka, pa, ka, pa. Good. Break 1. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, 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 tekka. Break 2. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom. One more time. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, tekka, pa. Tekka, 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 pa. Then tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, tekka, doom, doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, doom, tekka, doom, pa. Beautiful. And you could do that at any tempo. You could play this back at any speed you like. Let's go back to sitting down. I think we're going to end the last 15 minutes on Blue Monk. We might be able to do the 7, but I don't know. I think Blue Monk's a good one to end. What do you think, Brandy? Unless you're feeling the 7 for some reason. We improvise a lot in here. We have sometimes I always have too much curriculum than we can possibly do. And then we got to do, but it's good because then you come back next week and it's there, and then there's still more. There's always more. It's like a candy store.
All right, Blue Monk it is.
You're feeling Blue Monk. Let's do it. You need, because I like to do different styles of music. Of course, there's Middle Eastern styles, there's West African styles, North African styles, Brazilian styles. And then I like to do jazz styles because we still live in America and it's our cultural, classical art music, you know? And it's the thing that's unique to this country. Now, Blue Monk is going to be based on a triplet feel. This is a Thelonious Monk song, right? Some of you might have heard it. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, remember we were doing the subdivisions? It's a triplet feel. Everything is based on the triplet feel, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, right? It's a blues. 1 time. So let's see how that works on it with it, right? Let's let the piece finish out. 1, 2. You got to be able to practice in whichever combination you can, back and forth each way. There's so many ways to play triplets. All right, so let's do it with the music. Our music is over here. I'm going to close this one. Say bye-bye. Stepping with that one. All right, so let's make it bigger for our folks in the class. We have people out there in Australia, and then we have people in here in Asheville. It's going to go this one. So I'll go through the 2 or 3 different ways we're going to play triplet. This one doesn't use much alternating, right? A lot of times you're doing alternating. The very first nugget is doom ka ka. So let's just practice that. Doom ka ka, doom ka ka, doom ka ka. Right? 1. So the accent is on your lead hand. Sometimes you could do a tek ka ka, tek ka ka, tek ka ka, right? The third beat is also a doom ka ka. And the fourth beat is a pa ka ka. So the hands are doing the same thing. Pa ka ka, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? That's just each cell by itself. Let's look at the second cell. And that's really the only tricky thing in here. You have a tekka doom doom, right? So then if you're righty, it's right, left, right, right. Instead of just right, left, left, right, left, left all night long, it's tekka doom doom. If you're a lefty, it's left, right, left, 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 right, left, left. So let's loop beats 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9 like this. Tekka doom doom ka ka, tekka doom doom ka ka. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once you got this, then you got the whole piece. Doom doom ka ka, tekka doom doom. You can see the ka notes are ghosted. You don't need. They're just there mostly for placeholders. Tekka doom doom ka. So if you put all that together, once you have the first line, you pretty much have the whole piece. Okay, because the second line is the same. Lines 1 and 2 are the same, 5 and 6 are the same, and 9 and 10 are the same. So that's the basis of the piece. It goes like this: doom ka ka tekka, doom doom ka ka pa ka ka, doom ka ka tekka. Just get it out of your skin. It's doom ka ka tekka, doom doom ka ka pa ka ka, doom ka ka tekka, doom doom ka ka. Feel like you got it, and even if you just get that, you don't have to know anything else for the rest of the piece. You can just play this all night long with the piece, no matter what I do up here. All right, number 3, you had an extra doom at the end because why? That sets you up for the 4th line, which is also the same as the 8th line, basically, and then the 12th line. Okay, let's just practice the 4th line by itself. It's doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa, doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa. Doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa. Let's do the 3rd to the 4th line. 1 2 3 4. Doom ka ka tekka doom doom ka ka pa ka doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa. Again. Doom ka ka tekka doom doom ka ka pa ka doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. One more time. 3rd line. Doom ka ka tekka doom doom ka ka. 4th line. Doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa. All right. Then you do 5, 6 is the same. Line 7 is the same. And then on the 8th line, you still go doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. And then you have a ka tek ka. You have a triplet that starts with your non-dominant hand. Why? Because you want to end back up on your dominant hand of the 9th bar. ka-teka-doom. Let's try that. Ka-teka-doom. The fourth beat of line 8, ka-teka-doom. Ka-teka-doom. And it'll make sense once you play in the piece. Then you go 9, 10, the same as 1, 2, one more time. And then let's loop 11 through 12, just so you get that. It goes doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Again, 11 doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. One more time, 11 doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Perfect. Let's do this one at a variety of tempos. Let's do it slow ones. Feeling all right? Can we just jump into it? We have a bunch of whizzes in the house. All right? 4 for nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka. Second line. Doom ka ka teka doom doom. Third. Doom ka ka teka doom doom. Fourth. Doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. 5. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. 6, 7. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka. 8. Doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Ka teka 9. Teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom 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 pa doom 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 doom. The top. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka. And feel that swing going. Dun 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 pa ka. Doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa. 5. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka. Then pa doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Ka teka 9. Teka doom doom ka ka pa ka. Doom ka ka teka doom. 11. Doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Pa doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. All right, let's do it faster, because you're such good drummers. All right, we'll do 10 BPM faster. That was about 66. This is 74. 1, 2, 3, top. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka. Doom 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 pa. 5. Teka doom doom pa ka ka. 6. Pa ka ka. 7. Doom ka ka pa ka. Doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Ka teka doom ka ka teka doom. 10. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka. 11. Doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Pa doom doom ka doom doom doom. One more time and it's doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka. Doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Pa doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka. Doom 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 doom. Ka teka doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa ka. Doom 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 doom. Awesome. Trish, we do one more time faster? Yes. Carrie? We have a yes and an absolutely. What does that one say now? Is that 94 or 84? Yeah, is that too fast? No, yeah, that is. That was a big jump. Let's go to 89. That's a 90. And just play the tall notes. Right? If it feels too fast, just play the tall notes. Here we goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doom ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom tek doom doom pa. Doom tek doom doom pa. Doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom pa. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka. Doom doom ka doom doom ka doom doom. Ka teka doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka. Doom ka doom 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 doom. could play around with that. Doomka, teka, doomka, baka, doomka, teka, doomka, baka, doomka, teka, doomka, baka, doomka, doomka, teka. Of course, you can improvise. Baka, doomka, teka, doomka, baka, doomka, doomka, baka, teka, baka, doomka, teka, doomka, baka, doomka. Whatever you want to do, you can play it. And you can play that all night long. Doom ka ka teka doom doom ka ka pa ka ka doom ka ka teka doom doom pa doom 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 doom. Like I said, you can do any of that all night long at whatever tempo. Right? Hey Brandy, I'm still feeling. I know we only have 4 minutes left, but I feel like we might want to throw a 78, then just because this won't be in there for posterity.
We could introduce it. I think the people will love it, and then they'll be ready for really having fun with a 7 in the level 2 class.
Yeah, because in level 2 class, we're going to do the full Hijaz Mandra, which is a really famous old Anatolian Turkish song. So, but if you look at it up here, if I pull it up, there's a sheet in your folder called 7's 2 plus 2 plus 3, right? 2 plus 2 plus 3. And we're just going to look at really that first line. And there's 2 bars of 7 on this first line. And the way we look at the 7s, you don't have to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to think 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And the 1, 2 is always going to be dominant, non-dominant, right? Doomka, doomka. And then the 1, 2, 3 is going to be just what we did in the swing piece, doomka-ka, or tek-ka-ka, or pa-ka-ka. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's 2 bars of 7 in this first line. We're just looking at this first line. It's doomka, doomka, tek-ka, ka. And they're even. It's not a triplet. It's not like going doomka, doomka, tek-ka, doomka, doom. No. On this one, I'm going to show you next class how to keep the pulse together. But right now, I'm going to pulse the long cell. So it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Get that in your system. Let's sing the very first line. Doomka, doomka, teka, ka, doomka, doomka, paka, ka, doomka, doomka, teka, ka, doomka, paka, ka, doomka, doomka, teka, ka, doomka, 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 doom, teka, ka. If you want to count the 7, you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Easy, you could do that all night long. I think it'd be more fun to do with some music, and I just happened to transcribe the whole thing out with piano and flute and some oud. Feeling that? Great. And of course, you can play that as fast as you want. So let's play it at that tempo in. Let me close this one out. Let's play it with that tempo. Yes, we're going to save that. Thank you very much. Where did it go? Is this the one? It'd be the one. Let's do it. So we're going to do it at that tempo. You're going to hear 4 bars of 7 on this one, and it should come out. And we're just going to play it. If you want to play the second line, maybe when it gets to the B section, I'll tell you to play the second line. It'll be so easy because you'll just be so ingrained in yourself. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Doomka, doomka, teka, ka, doomka, doomka, paka, ka, teka, ka, doomka, doomka, paka, ka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here comes the melody. Doomka, doomka, teka, ka, doomka, doomka, paka, ka, doomka, doomka, teka, ka, doomka, doomka, paka, ka, doomka, doomka, teka, ka, doomka, doomka, pa. doomka, doomka, deka. You feeling it? Doomka, doomka, deka, doomka, doomka, paka, doomka, doomka, deka, doomka, doomka, paka, doomka, doomka, deka, doomka. Great. Let's try number 2 if you're feeling it. All right? It's doomka, teka, teka, doomka, paka, paka, doomka, teka, teka, doomka, paka. So easy. Doomka, teka, teka, doomka, paka, paka. Just groove it down and sing it. Doomka, teka, teka, doomka, paka, paka, doomka, teka, teka, doomka, paka, paka, doomka, teka, teka. Great. Awesome. And then you could go back to the first one, or whichever one. Doomt, 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 paka, doomka, doomka, teka, doomka, paka, doomka, doomka, teka, doomka, doomka. Keep going. What if you had a tambourine and you wanted doomka, doomka, teka, doomka, doomka, paka, doomka, doomka, teka, doomka, doomka, paka, doomka, doomka, teka. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just a little 5 minutes, 70 in, just to wrap the level 1 up. And we went from the breathing to learning our rhythm building blocks, our tones, our cell patterns, putting them all together, learning some Middle Eastern grooves, a jazz piece, and then the 7/8. So hope that takes you somewhere, and you could keep coming back to this, and you could keep coming back to it like anytime you want, right? We talked about all that. And maybe we'll just groove out on a 7. If there's anything you want to say, Brandy, please feel it. And thank to Brandy on the screens, Brandy on the cameras. Trish here in the house, Carrie here in the house, Rima all night long.
And if you feel like a whiz on everything that we already covered tonight, join us at 7 o'clock tonight after you take a little break. Get some food, get some water, stretch your legs, move around, breathe some fresh air outside, and then be back at 7 o'clock here on the Asheville Rhythm YouTube channel for a level 2 class. See if we can give you a good challenge. And if you want more of this to really grow your foundation in rhythm, you can either contact Rima, who you see on the chat there with her email address, or you can go to our website, which is AshevillePercussionFestival.com, and sign up for classes. You can do them a la carte. You can do them as a monthly subscription. You can do them after the fact as an archive. You can do them so many ways because we love you and we want to drum with you.
Thanks for joining us tonight in your 7th and see you next time. See you next time. See you next time. Thank you. And if it's late where you are, have a good night. Good night. And wishing you a good break. Good evening, wherever it is you go, between the classes. Good night.